Hey boy, hey.
Hey boy, hey. No, hey girl, hey.
So I think I've told you about these there's like these little yellow coffee shacks up around here.
Yeah.
And they're mostly ran by like really sweet teenage girls. Well, anyways, I don't get a lot of coffee. Dude, this is called a 5 alarm. It's 5 shots of espresso and Ghirardelli chocolate, and then I get it blended.
So
And
is
it's
this like
so good.
if you come across somebody who's like on the road, right? And so it's like, they need CPR, jumpstart his heart. And then they're like, no, give them the 5 alarm. You pour a little down their gullet and they come back up like, does
Yes. Yes.
that sound
Like
right?
you and I both take medication for ADHD, and I literally am not going to take it for a couple hours because I can't mix it with this. I'm
Yeah, no, I do.
going to be like, I'm going to be shaky.
Stupid. Okay, I need to try. I do with mine. I take mine. I take a medicine called Vyvanse, and when I take Vyvanse, I can have maybe a cup of coffee before or after, but after that, I mean, it's done.
Hmm. Yeah. That's why
So
I
I
can't have
feel
it
you.
in the house because I'm like, oh, I'm just having one. And then I'm like 3 Diet Cokes later.
That's why I switched over to that French press because I legitimately love black coffee. Like black Folgers coffee is a thing that I look forward to, and I got a French press specifically so I don't make a full pot every single time.
Yeah, I can see that. What are
So
you doing today?
today
Do you want me to go
I
first?
what doesn't matter. Okay, mine's heavy, but not. What's yours?
Okay. Go ahead. Start with the heavy.
I start therapy today.
Oh, nice. Not like your last weirdo guy.
Not like the last weirdo guy. Yeah.
What a
So
head
and I'm
case.
actually kind of excited about this one. Like the last couple of times, I wasn't really that excited, but I think I'm really at that spot right now where it's going to be beneficial, but beneficial because I'm a participant, not because I have to be there.
Yeah, I know.
Or not that because I have to be there because I'm being forced to be there, but like sometimes you'll go and you'll do things because you have to do them, but your head's not in the game and you don't really want to do it. You just know that it's the right thing to do, and you're hoping that when you're there, it just kind of clicks, right? Not the case here.
Good morning, Tiffany. Um, I have hopped through therapists and I have learned I think I need one younger
Okay, why is
because
that?
the last couple therapists I had are a little bit older. And I have my toxic trait when it comes to relationships that I like men who are like tend to be narcissistic and sociopaths. And I feel like the older therapists haven't really touched upon that, and the younger ones have looked into it more.
Like maybe that's not in their tool bags. More
Yeah,
that's more of a just pick better.
my therapist by experience. Well, they've been doing it for 20 years. And then I go in there and I'm like, I don't relate to them at all. And I know I can't be my therapist friend, but I want to like relate to them in some way, and them
Right,
relate to me in some way.
right. I totally get that.
And a lot of the
Uh,
audio that I've listened to about sociopaths and narcissism, it shows that a lot of therapists don't, it's not like a thing that they really learn about.
like because that wasn't really talked about in like their generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't really talked about when they're going through their education.
Well, that's they what is it? It's the DSM. It's the Diagnostic Service Manual or whatever it is that they
Mhm.
use to diagnose people. Like when you go through, like if you look at DSM-1 versus DSM-5 now, DSM-5 calls people that like it's learning disabled, stuff like that. But if you go back to DSM-1, they use the R word that is not appropriate or okay to use now,
Oh no,
right?
that's not okay. I hate that word.
Yeah. So I do too. But if you go back and look from where they were to where they are now, like they've taken so many words out and have changed the vocabulary and everything. So like if you get somebody old school, like they were old school DSM, and still that's probably still a part of their vocabulary.
Yeah, we've learned more about, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Remember that guy that I talked to for like 6 weeks and then we went on the date and with 30 minutes in he used the word lib blank?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was like
No.
real fast.
that word cuts. That word really, really cuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
I remember
for
calling
many, many years, it
we
was
use
a
the
perfectly
word
acceptable.
so pissed.
But it was a perfectly acceptable word for many, many years in the medical community. It's so weird. I mean, it's not weird. I mean, you understand why. I mean, I understand why. We all understand why. But 40, 50 years ago,
Yeah.
it was different. Yeah.
We were playing a song on the radio by Olivia Rodrigo called "Good for You." Do you listen? And there's a line in there that goes, "Like a damn sociopath." And now I want a shirt that just says "Like a damn sociopath" because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Whoever's watching can make that shirt. I think you oughta.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I totally
Yeah.
want that shirt.
What do you have going on?
I am getting my first shot. We don't get all, we don't talk about, hey, khop.com has where you can get your vaccination. I'm not telling you to go get one. I'm not telling you not to go get one. Ian Riley got his right away. I have not. I'm allergic to all medicine, so I'm scared. I'm not against it. I'm not going to get all crazy political with anybody.
When it comes to medicines in general, you've had bad experiences from
bad.
allergies.
Penicillin, cephalosporin,
Yeah.
codeine, Oxycontin. I'm literally, and I've never been diagnosed that I'm allergic to Oxycontin, but I throat violently when I take that or codeine. So I'm just going to
You
go
don't
ahead
handle opiates well at all.
at all, which is probably a blessing in disguise because I love them. And they're
I handled opiates too
the worst
well.
thing you can do. Yeah.
I
So
loved them a little too much.
yes, I mean, I know that how addictive they are. So I
Yeah.
think that the Lord Jesus put that blessing on me to.
That's a good little brake pedal.
I am super alert. I get super sick on medication, and I learned the hard way that I was allergic to penicillin and cephalosporin and Ansef and Keflex, and I've just been scared, but I have to get it done. So I'm going to get it done today. And is my first shot is today, and I'm getting the Pfizer one. And then in 3 weeks, I'll get the second one. And did you know that you're not fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after the second shot?
Mm-hmm.
Which is new information for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's the first shot after 2 weeks, I think you're 85% vaccinated, and then the second shot, I think, bumps you 80% or something like that. Then the second shot bumps you up to like 93 or 95. And then I think what they're finding out now is that that with both shots, but I think especially the Moderna, but I think you'll be okay because you already have antibodies. Is that the shot itself?
I had COVID not once, but 2 times. And
Yeah.
so my boss lady Angie is very, very worried about me getting the Delta variant.
Yeah. If that's not what you got the second time around, because I think the second time you had it, that was the most dominant.
Dude, the second time around was way worse than the first time around.
And there's a third one right behind the second one. It's ridiculous, right? So what they're finding though is that even if you have the vaccine and you still get the COVID, that the antibodies in the vaccine, what the science is showing is that it's how do you say it? It's you're not getting as sick. You're not getting nearly as sick. And they're finding, I think right now, 15% of the cases are all coming from children right now, and they're unvaccinated. So they're finding that the people that are getting it that are vaccinated are really well protected against it, but the children in the schools are bringing it home like they bring home the sniffles now.
Good morning, Trisha. Yeah, I know.
So
I was just in Sonora yesterday at Black Oak with Mom and Madden.
how'd you do?
Man, I played. I broke even.
Okay.
I played. What do you play? I play video poker at the bar. That's my that. I want to play poker every time. Like I don't understand. Like unless there's sevens in a row, 3 sevens in a row, or cherries in a row. Like I don't understand all the other stuff going on. And then all of a sudden I'm like betting $4 when I thought it was like a 10-cent machine or whatever. I like to play quarters. I play 3/4 at a time, 75 cents a hand on video poker. And I played yesterday for a while.
I like video poker. Before I was married, I was a card and table guy. I used to know how to count cards. I used to do okay at a Texas Hold'em table. I've actually won Texas Hold'em tournaments before. I won a Texas Hold'em tournament in Las Vegas, actually, but it wasn't like a sanctioned tournament. It was a buddy's bachelor party, but everybody there was like a legit player. And I made it to the lead table, and we came down to it, and we split the pot, and we played for the trophy, and I got the trophy somewhere in a box.
Yeah.
So I'm not a bad Texas Hold'em player. But when I got married, because my wife at the time was vision impaired, So when we would go to casino, she couldn't really go around the tables and stuff. So I got into the penny slots with her. And so then I got really into penny slots. And so when you're talking about like you don't know if you're betting $4 or not, I read up on those, and there's a whole method to it. And you never bet the 4. You always bet like 1 over the minimum bet, and then you always bet all lines. And then from there, it's just a bingo game. And that whole pool of slots is one big bingo card. So you're waiting for your machine to basically be the bingo in that slot bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I didn't know you went up. That's awesome.
The other slots that I like to play are the Wheel of Fortune ones because I like that wheel to turn.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So Papa Madden doesn't gamble. So he was sitting by the pool the whole time. So Mama Madden and I went to go see him, and he says, "Hi, Lana." He goes, if you just want to stay in the room with your mom, I could just drive home. And I'm like, you're not getting out of this that easily, Pops. You're staying the night.
So you guys stayed up at Black Oak?
Yeah.
They had that bowling alley there. Does your dad bowl?
My mom says she gets free rooms, and my dad will tell her every time, these ain't free.
They're not free.
When she has 2 in a row, I know she went pretty hard in the previous months.
Yeah, they're not free. We used to get free rooms too. They're not free.
Yeah, she had 2 nights in a row, but she went easy on Papa Madden. She only stayed 1 night.
Does he bowl?
No, he sits in the hot tub or sits by the pool and reads a book.
Would he bowl?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
We've gone down to that restaurant bar down there together before because I don't gamble a lot. So sometimes I'll go in between, but my mom and I were having a good, and I even said, I go, do you want me to come out there? And she's like, I would love it. And good thing I did because I get there, my dad's taking a nap.
You know what really irritates me right now about slot machines? Because I love slot machines.
Yeah.
Is the whole experience is gone now. They put it up there, but half of them don't even work. Half of them are just there to be there. You can't pull half of them.
I know. I'm trigger happy with the psh, 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 though.
So do you let it do its full cycle when you hit? Like you hit bet and then you hit spin. Do you let it spin or do you stop it?
Doing that yesterday. She just kept hitting it and it was making me crazy.
Because you know why?
What's happening? It
doesn't matter.
I know.
That was the other thing I found out because I got really because we were going to the casino a lot. Remember that like 2-3 year pocket where my ex and I were going to the casino like all the time. I would research slot machines to try and figure out how to beat the slot machines. And so I was asking, like, if you tap the thing, does it really matter? And in the bonus games, I guess it does. But I guess when you're just doing a regular bet, like once you hit spin, it's already determined what you're going to get.
See, my mom has a whole thing like you want to be at the edge closest to the door because they're trying to get you in or keep you there. And she always wins.
Yes, she's actually right about that. That was the other thing that I read. It's not one slot machine. It's like a bank of slot machines. So you want to pick because they'll put a few banks by the door. But what I read was there's like one specific bank. And if you can find the hot bank by the door, you're good to go. And then the other 2 banks are duds.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right.
And then me, I'm just like, that one's calling at me. And then just like my relationships, I have a bad picker.
By the way, can I preface, please, do not go to the casino and use my advice and say the guy on the radio said this is how you play slot machines. These are just my observations.
No,
things I've done in the past.
Right now is that gambling number at the bottom. Like if you have a gambling problem, you know what they say at the end of commercials. Yeah, me too, Diane. I play video poker, and you're not supposed to take pictures. So my buddy taught me how to play the video poker. And the Lucky Beaver in Tahoe is our favorite place. And he he hit 4 aces like 3 times that we were there. And then I went to Vegas and I hit 4 aces and I took a photo and they're like, you're not supposed to take photos of the machine. I'm like, but I hit 4 aces. I got to show somebody.
Hey, the National Council on Problem Gambling operates the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700. That's 1-800-522-4700. I recognize we're talking about gambling. We're not offering advice. And if you have a problem gambling, please call that number at 1-800-522-4700. I won $1,000 on a slot machine once, and that was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. What's the most you've won?
Oh, $125.
Yeah.
I don't gamble a lot though. You know that. My mom's taking home a lot. She always wins, but once I'm down like $20 or $30, I'm out of there.
See,
I only spent like $50 yesterday.
The mistake you're making, and this is going to get, I don't know if this is sexist or misogynist or what, but the mistake that you're making is you're not playing blackjack tables. What you need to do as a single woman in a casino is find a blackjack table with a dude dealer with not a whole lot of people at the table, or a blackjack table with one dude and one guy playing the dealer, and then show up and just let them know that you don't know how to play. And that dude that's next to you and the dealer will walk you through the whole thing. Every single hand. Every hand you can look at and be like, all I have is this ace and this 10. What do I do? All I have is this ace and 9. What do I do? And both of them will tell you what to do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the dealer doesn't care if you win or lose. The dealer just wants you to tip them.
Can I speak
next to you
normally? Like I really don't know what's going on, or do I have to act like a dumb girl?
I think you could speak normally and act like you don't know. Yeah, I think you could.
If I have to act like I'm not very smart, I don't know if I can do that. Like there are times that I'm just really not that smart, but I don't want to act that way.
but the thing is, if you at that table, the dealer wants you to tip him. So he's going to tell you, and then the guy that's sitting next to you, he'll tell you too. You know, when you win, you got to tip the dealer. But the guy sitting next to you, you know what he wants, so he's going to help you win. And the dealer wants you to tip. And so both of them, I've seen it 1,000 times. They will walk you through every single hand.
And the other thing is that with men in general, no matter what the topic is, you guys love to mansplain things. So if I'm like, oh, I don't understand this faucet, or oh, I don't understand blackjack, or you guys love to tell us.
Right. And the thing with mansplaining is that what we like to do is we like to take when you tell us that we explain things and then break down how it is we explain things.
Yeah.
I love you. Hey, this weekend, you gave me a really good weekend. Honestly,
I did?
Like you did. You picked me up, and when we were over there, and the dinner was amazing. Kelly and Angie, thank you so much for that steak. And you guys wouldn't let me get up. You wouldn't let me get anything. Like,
I had a really good time with you there. I had a great time at Angie's house. I'm glad we all ended up over there.
I did too.
I'm glad you came.
But I wanted to say thank you because, especially in these last couple of weeks, for good reasons, you've really kind of held a pail under my butt and picked up my poo for me.
I love you.
I love you.
Thanks for letting me watch football at your house.
It was a pleasure having somebody over.
Talking about mansplaining, Madden-splaining.
So how did football go? Football was I had to ask first who was winning.
Yes.
And then I kept talking, I think, during like important parts, but I don't really know what those are. I think at one time I asked you who you're rooting for, and then if it was because the jerseys were looking cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know football.
You're like, why do we hate the Seahawks? I'm like, remember when I burned that jersey?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. You're like, anybody but the Seahawks. I'm like, well, what do we have against the Seahawks?
And then we were watching the Chiefs, and I'm like, this is like their third string quarterback. You're all totally, I knew that.
I couldn't understand why we didn't like the Seahawks. It took a minute for us to get there.
Yeah, but so thank you for letting me
absolutely
watch football and hang out with you a little bit.
Absolutely.
How was the rodeo parade?
Oh yeah, I went to the Oakdale Rodeo
Change of taste. Ian Riley was at the Oakdale Rodeo Parade this year, not me though.
Hey, for the first time in my I've been in the Valley now off and on.
I was supposed to go to Cal for luncheon this year with Lana, but everybody in her house got the COVID.
So from 1999 until now, 24 years, right? For 24 years, I have not done one rodeo related thing in the Central Valley ever. Not out of a desire.
So much fun.
I just haven't. And somehow, some way, I found myself at the parade this weekend.
Look up Oakdale Bud on Urban Dictionary. You'll link me later. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, for 24 years, I've never done one thing in the Valley. Or for 22 years, I've never done one thing in the Valley that is even remotely rodeo related. And somehow this weekend, I found myself sitting in a fold-out chair watching the rodeo at 9 o'clock the parade at 9 o'clock in the morning.
So Ian Riley was talking about that he was going to go to Oakdale Rodeo that night. And if you're new to the show, he has like a plug-in car. And I said, do you want to trade cars? And he said, why? I said, so you don't get your butt kicked tonight.
Don't show up.
You can take the Jeep.
Don't show up with one of them plug-in hybrid cars. I want to use American gasoline.
I said, don't go out there in that car. People know who you are.
I know. I purposely, when I park, park like far out in the parking lot and away from trucks because it's so small, and I don't want to get out of the car. I'm a tall guy. I'm not super tall, but I'm 6 foot. So like when I get out of the car, it's like I come up above the car. That embarrasses me a little.
Was our friend Juan Alanis out there?
Yes, he was. I got a chance to say hi to him. He was cool.
He's such a good. He always volunteers at the Cowgirl Luncheon too, and I didn't get to go this year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
At the Cowgirl Luncheon, is it like Cowgirl Luncheon, and then is it like dudes doing the hospitality?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cowboys and stuff in there, like giving us our drinks and stuff. It's awesome. Like serving all of the food and yeah, right, Cheyenne. You're welcome.
The things you learn on a Monday morning.
I know. One of my buddies wrote Oakdale Bud, and he had like 100 comments about Oakdale Bud in there. And I go, hey, and I put the Urban Dictionary screenshot, and he was so mad at me. Whatever, Madden.
I didn't make it to the rodeo, though. I didn't do the rodeo.
Yeah, I know, because I was at your house watching football.
That's right. We're doing things.
I told you you told me I could stay, but we were both being weird. Like, is it cool if I leave? Is it cool if I stay?
Okay, but the backstory on that is that I don't like having people over. I don't want people in my home. Like, if we're not super connected, then I would rather you just not be here. Like it's not. It's more of an anxiety thing. I don't like people looking. I don't like feeling like my living space is not adequate. Does that make sense? Like, I get insecure about that.
I was on my way over, and you're like, I'm feverishly cleaning the house. I'm like, I've known you 18 years. I don't care what your house looks like.
Right, but I still have to make it look like I cared when you came over and cleaned it. Like, I still have to look like it's clean all the time. and so Madden gets over, and we're sitting there, and like every 5 minutes, are you sure it's okay if I'm here? Are you sure you don't want me to leave? And I was gonna end up going out that night.
Your TV, because when I got there, it was basketball, and I'm like, ugh, can we change this? I wasn't even there like 3 minutes. I'm like, football's on. Can I change this channel?
Yeah. So right away, she comes in and commandeers my basketball to football. That's cool. And then I want to tell you something at the end, but I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't want you to feel bad, but I did this on purpose. And then so we're watching football, and then like every 5 minutes, she's looking over. She's like, "Are you sure you're cool? Are you sure you're cool?" And I'm like, "No, I'm cool. I got to take a shower. I might be heading out." So I grabbed a shower, got dressed, and then I found out I wasn't going out that night, right? So I came back out. I'm like, hey, night opened up. What do you want to do? She's like, well, I'm just watching football. Okay, cool. You want to get something to eat? Yeah, let's get Wingstop. Cool, let's get Wingstop. It was a really, really busy night because it was a football night. So Wingstop ended up being like a 2-hour delivery, right?
Yeah.
And so you were like, I gotta go. This has been fun. You even been into half an episode of Love After Lockup. Right? So Madden's like, I gotta go.
There's a new show that I started watching on HBO Max yesterday, but I'll get to that in a minute.
And so I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'll cancel the DoorDash order. I didn't cancel the DoorDash order.
You didn't?
Because
you got wings?
It all looks so good. But here's the caveat. They didn't show up until like an hour and a half after you left.
With my fries with extra seasoning and everything?
They were so good.
I hate you. Oh, I've been thinking about it since I left. I'm just going to have to get some.
I ate the last of them yesterday. I spaced them out, and they were delicious.
Dang it. Well, I'm glad you got to eat. They must have shown up late. You were up late
Super
then.
Late.
No, as soon as I got home, I was out cold.
Yeah, no, I figured. But I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say I wasn't going to cancel them because I didn't want you to be like, "Are you sure?" or anything like that. Because it was like a conscious decision. Like I wanted those 21 wings that were showing up, and the 2 orders of fries, and the Diet Coke and the regular Coke, and so I spaced those out over a few days or a couple of days. I just finished them up last night.
Enjoy it. All right, you guys. We're giving away Disneyland on the air. Music town in Atlanta. There's dozens and dozens of artists. We're giving those away. That's a national contest. We have our Disneyland getaway. That's three Disneyland getaways. Thank you, Honey's Air and Solar.
I got it right the first time.
Huh?
I said I got it right the first time. I usually feel like I just instinctively go the way I don't want to go now, and that's how I do it.
All right, you guys. We will catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.